So now that I've seen page 1, I can give you a much more in-depth review. The main problem I have with the documentary is that it applies a very light touch to a really important issue. A more dense documentary about the decline of print journalism is still yet to be made, which is a shame because the filmmakers get incredible access into the New York Times, so you expect a little more. Something like the Oscar-nominated documentary Inside Job, which took a really complex issue, the financial meltdown, and disseminated all the information for us. Sure, the filmmakers found really great personalities within the New York Times. David Carr, for instance, is entertaining and often very funny, but the film is shoddily put together and never really formed a coherent argument for me. Let's take an issue like news aggregation, which polarizes people in the media industry. When people bring up the Huffington Post as an example of a new, emerging business model for journalism, its critics come back and say that HuffPo is merely an aggregator, and that by summarizing and linking to articles, it merely cheapens journalism and doesn't offer any additional value to the reader, and instead repackages journalism as fast food content, or worse, steals it. Take a scene where David Carr is debating with the director of Newser, a news aggregator service which links to popular stories on news publications' websites. He holds up a picture of Newser to show the director what would happen if the New York Times would go out of business. It's a picture of the website, but one with all the pictures cut out, one that is contentless because it would have nothing to aggregate and nothing to link to. Sure, it's funny and entertaining, but that's where the film could have really used people like Arianna Huffington and Jeff Jarvis, who have really challenging opinions about the value of aggregation. However, in a wonderful sequence of the film, one that I loved, David Carr talks candidly about Twitter, admitting that when he first heard about it at South by Southwest, he thought it was useless. But in a voiceover, he sees the real value of Twitter, and his humility is very touching, one that would convert any journalist not using Twitter already. But if you follow the changing media landscape of your own accord, then the documentary will tell you nothing new. However, it is a good conversation starter, one that if you brought your friends along to, you'll find yourself talking about afterwards.